Need to get myself back up to speed before we actually race. As you can see, I've got no pace tonight. This is going to be a tough one. In theory, the M6 should be faster, but I can't get the trailer to get the power down on corner exits. It just wants to spin. Anyway, I'll pull up my live chat and see what I can do. Hopefully not cause an echo by pulling up my live chat while my phone is not muted, and it auto plays the video, so I end up hearing my voice. Not going for outright speed in this practice. I just want to get a few decent laps on the board so that I can go into qualifying with some confidence. However, there is one thing I'm going to be doing which may cost me the first couple of minutes of qualifying. It's because this is mostly going to be a throwaway race for me anyway. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to try and figure out how the points algorithm works, because I can try and I'm going to calculate the average driver rating of this entire lobby by screenshotting everyone's user profiles at the time of qualifying, and through that I can figure out what average rating corresponds to what points. I'll explain what I'm doing again when we actually get in, but basically I'm gonna sacrifice the best possible chance of qualifying well, because I'm probably not going to anyway, for the sake of the science. I just did not feel comfortable in the M6, even though it is probably faster than the Z4. It all hinges on how well you can exit turns, and I just like the Z4 in the middle sector a lot better. I wasn't expecting to use the Z4 at any point in this season, because I think everyone had just pretty much come to a consensus. The M6 is easily the better car. But that's not actually the case in this case here, because I think I'm faster. I don't know if I'm faster, but it can't hurt. The worst that can happen is, well, let's just see what happens. That 31.7 is with the Z4, so in theory, since I've only managed a 31.8 with the M6, it should be better. At the very least, it'll be more consistent, because I feel like I can get close to that time more often in a qualifying setting than I would with the M6, which does have a tendency to spin and lose buckets of time. At least for me. Someone with better throttle control would probably make the M6 work. By that I mean Veltro. maybe next year maybe next year I'll just run whatever manufacturer I want without caring about potential loopholes in the qualifying system, because I went to the World Tour once and honestly that's enough for me. I need to get a lot better on wheel before I even think of showing my face at the World Tour again. Because as disappointed as I was that Hayward seemed largely upset with me, despite telling me beforehand that the result didn't really matter to him, I can understand why he was upset. Because even by my modest standards of what I was expecting to do, I underperformed when the pressure actually got to me. And that's why I'm not really that worried about. That's why I haven't been that worried about getting big points this season. Although it certainly doesn't help the psyche when you quit only to see that the next slot would have been worth more points had you persisted, which has happened to me several times this season. I think the Radicals round, the Catalunya round, and most recently the Suzuka round, where I thought I wasn't having that much fun or had that much pace, but turns out I probably could have won that third slot that was ultimately won by Corey Hack. It wouldn't have been easy. I still would have had to conserve tyres all the way, but I think Barton honestly had much the same issues as me. He had to go a lot slower to conserve the tyres himself. And I know Barton is faster than that normally, but he's been overseas this season, and it has disrupted his prep and his level of comfort when driving. So the pace and consistency hasn't been there for him, unfortunately, but I'm sure he'll bounce back strong next year. Maybe by next year the BOP will actually be right. Can you believe that they nerfed the Subaru's power? It was a setup issue. They just needed to take the downforce off it. Set it to 450, 650. 450 is the lowest it goes on the fronts. So it would still have a little bit more downforce than the typical Group 3, but not by an extraordinary amount. And then you can even give it back some power, because it's no longer taking the corners so fast. But no, PD did something stupid instead, which seems to be a recurring theme for them. Like they tweeted to show excitement for their upcoming update 1.23, only for there to be absolutely nothing that wasn't already announced in it. Well, some scapes, but nobody cares about scapes. Even the guys that frequent scapes don't really care about having more scapes. There's plenty in the game already. Well, here we go. I hear that Atom is doing the finale. It's possible that we may encounter him because I think our rating is similar. Although I don't know if I'm going to get paired up or paired down. My rating is in that kind of middle road. This nickname has been deleted. Well, it's Conzio, which means we've been paired up. Although, does that mean Atom is in drop split? Okay, it's Megaret. Okay, everybody, there is something I need to do. Turns out we were paired down. I think Conzio is legitimately in split 3 for us. Actually, is this even going to work? Because I need to exit out of qualifying to get the rest of the driver profiles. No, it's shuffled around, which means I'm going to have to go and do them all again. Didn't think about that. Could I have done it? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go out, and I'm gonna take it at the end of qualifying instead of the start. Okay. So yeah, effectively, we've dropped to the back of the queue by doing that. But yeah, look, I'm gonna exit out before completing my final lap, unless it's a massive improvement or something, and then I'll gather everyone's profiles, because people are unlikely to improve after that point. This is where having a PS5 would have helped, because then we probably could have pulled off that trick a little bit better, easier. We would have gotten in the lobby earlier, and I would have had a decent and more likely chance of capturing everyone's profiles before we started quali, but I think even then we probably would have been a little bit short. Anyway, let's worry about it later. I've got a qualifying session to worry about. It's probably for the best that we have been paired down if we're down in split 3 tonight, because my pace was not that good. Might actually be able to get a decent enough result if I am in a slower split as opposed to the next one up. Just a safe start to the session. Need to make sure I have something to play with. Yeah, not even pushing that hard in through the final turn. Just make sure I get myself into the low 32s to start, and then we'll worry about getting that 31 later. That was a loose first sector. I'll be surprised if I'm actually up. Yeah, I'm not. But it's still worth keeping the foot down because I wasn't that much slower either. I was up by a 10th, but I think that may have been a little bit too hesitant at the finish, so I may have lost that 10th again. Alright. Nah, we mostly have kept hold of it. And that gives me a bit of leeway to be more aggressive moving forward because we're only 3/10 off our optimal, so... And there's one of those tenths right there. Might have lost it back though, trying to push too hard out of that turn. Missed that apex too. Maybe touch and go as to whether or not I get another attempt right at the end. No, I'm not going to make it. How close we are to being able to gain another place here. Why do I always mess up that apex when I try to go wide there? That's this lap completely thrown away. And all of a sudden, I can't afford to exit out of the session early because we've got Did I give up on that lap too early? Because I was basically just phoning in that after messing up the... No, this is going to have to be an absolute monster of a finish. Don't rule it out, but we already lost 1.5 tenths. Yeah, going wide, I needed to do something like that, and then... Nah, we're not going to improve, so let's take this chance to... I already know I have the top three. I have Chupagetti's profile twice. I already know that I have taken a snap of the top three, so I've got White Wind. White Wind. Do I have Salamander? No, I don't have Salamander, so I'll take a cap of Salamander. Could have sworn I had that one though. No, I definitely did not get peak performance is driver rating. Okay, and I have We'll, just to be safe, take all of these as well. Oh, hey, so we say. That should be everyone. That should be everyone. I really should be in 8th, qualified 8th here, but unfortunately I bottled it. Yes, I count 16 profiles that I've saved, so hopefully I don't have any duplicates there. But anyway, dodgy qualifying aside, I've accomplished what I wanted to do here, which was get everyone's driver rating before we start the race. So now we just have to make a note of the points. And I'm getting a lot of backed up notifications because I hit the screenshot button so many times to get all of those players. But anyway, here we go. I know that I should be able to gain a couple of places. It's just going to hinge on who gets penalties in this race, because that wasn't the qualifying I really needed. I should have been in the 31s and starting directly behind Chupagetti. Mitsubishi got buffed, so actually not that big a surprise that it's on pole here. Misspelled peak performance. Performance. To be fair, it could have been a much worse qualifying session too. I could have been starting all the way down there, down in 14th, if I didn't hook anything up. I don't know what it is about OGR Darren. He's really fast in daily races. I actually got beaten on it by him on pure pace at Daily Race B earlier this week. But when he comes to these lobbies, he just doesn't show up. That Darren does not show up. They really got to make these rolling starts a little bit more bunched up next year. We can handle them. We can definitely handle being a little bit closer to each other. People aren't going to make stupid dive bombs right from the get-go. It's only really the grid starts that I have any problem with at all. And even then, sometimes we get away cleanly depending on what the first corner is. If it's into a hairpin, then yeah, that shouldn't be a rolling start, a grid start. Big Performance looks to be struggling a bit. And then I almost go right into the back of them. That would have been a pretty noob move to make. Messed up my line a little bit because all of a sudden the Subaru behind is coming down on me. Like, I broke early because I was worried about the slipstream and they were still taking their quali. Can I please hit that apex? It's okay, this is the part of the track where we tend to gain our time anyway. The reason why I took the Z4 instead of the M6 in the first place. And then I leave it wide coming out of that bend. In the M4, this run all the way down to the final turn is an absolute nightmare. cannot get it to grip up at all. That's a much better run. I need to do more like that to keep up with this train. It looks like there might be a big incident about to happen that will give me a chance to make a place or two. But then again, these are A+ rated drivers. They typically know how to drive and aren't just going to do anything stupid that would wreck them all out of the race. That's the sort of thing that happens more often in GT2 League, because B-rated drivers, they're not bad at the game per se, but they still have a ways to go. Rulestone is looking really racy right now. It's like I think they had a pretty poor qualifying and are making up for it in the race. That wasn't actually a purple sector, by the way. No way I'm doing 32.1 in a race situation. Good news is we have caught up to this little train. We may still be on for a decent result. It was the sort of lap I really needed in qualifying, because I think if I'd done that sort of lap in qualifying, it would have been a 31 with the less fuel in the car. We have the luxury to just bide our time for now. It's actually going to be pretty difficult to overtake, so I won't worry about it right away. Something we're going to have to think about eventually, but I'm going to have a lot of trouble getting around performance, so I'm just going to focus more on exits, and maybe I can try and crisscross him into turn 1. Although he's in the Toyota, so we can assume that his straight line speed is going to be... am I even going to get Salamander? Because he took his half-second penalty, but all of a sudden he's already back up to speed. Okay. We managed it, but... Oh, he's already got... How? I mean, I know I have I know I had some aero damage, but that did not actually affect our top speed. Salamander got blocked. Salamander's run got blocked by me being on the inside throughout turn 3, so I don't know how the Mazda's already managed to get back alongside and pass me on that shorter straight. Unfortunately, it means we have to do it all over again. Yeah, that was my problem the previous lap. I went too deep because I had a much better slipstream on the Subaru, and also because I was trying to outbrake Salamander because I couldn't get clear. At least not properly clear. I was close to being over the track limits, but not quite. Got to remember, curbs are the track limits in GT7, not white lines. As long as you have two wheels inside the curbs, you're good. Yeah, I just think that Mazda's really good in a straight line. I'll have to test it myself at Trial Mountain because it is the car I'm going to be using for Nations. I haven't actually tested it though because I thought I was going to be using the BRZ. And then they nerfed it. Even though there were plenty of other cars that were as fast, if not faster, than the BRZ. They specifically targeted not even the part of the BRZ that was overpowered, because the power went down. I mean, I said it before, that how can you look at the BRZ in the game right now and think that the power needs to come down? The power needs to go up, and either the weight or the setup comes down. Still here. Just stuck between two groups, a little bit too fast to be caught by the group behind, a little bit too slow to catch the group ahead. I need them to start battling, honestly, so I can get back into this. I might. So I have a feeling Salamander thinks he's going to be quicker and make a move at some point. Or I could just have a really good middle sector and catch him that way. Oh, Shin's spun out and is going to rejoin right in front of me, so I can't even get a position for that way. God damn it. Just when I thought I was going to get a 3 place. Oh wait, they got dirty tyres. I might still be able to have a crack at them. Oh, look, I can't even blame them for taking the line that they did. I thought the gap was opening up that way. Alas. All comes back to qualifying though. If we'd been ahead, if we'd been directly behind Chupaghetti after qualifying, I reckon we could have held on here. His performance has not been fast. Gotta say that line through turn 1 is too tight. I'm overcompensating for being too deep on the brakes there the last couple of laps. Sector split was good enough. I got Raiden right on my tail. It seems they found some pace, more than me, in the race. Shin's been all over the joint since the spin. They haven't been able to compose themselves and make any inroads into the cars ahead. Didn't realise that WRX was so lethargic in a straight line because, well, at least until this point, then it starts clawing back, I think. It doesn't look like we're going to do anything here. It just hasn't been a good enough race. I'll have to check, but that's 4 messages in rapid fire, so it might be a spam account. I apologize if it isn't, but I do have to concentrate on the race, so I can't look at chat until I've actually crossed the finish line. I would at least like to keep 10th place. We've been in the peak performance. We've been in the peak performance train all race. A better qualifying of a 31.9 would have got us ahead of all of this. So yeah, that's a 7th place gone begging. But in any case, I don't think it would have been an improvement to my season score. Good race though. Oh, hello, Barton. Yeah. I was in the opposite situation. I took the handling car because I felt like I was doing better in the middle sector with it over my usual BMW. Yeah, I wouldn't have improved my season score unless I got like P5, which would have taken an absolute monster of a race from me, and I don't think I was getting that. I would have gotten 7th maybe, but yeah, 310. So I'll just screen cap that. I like the Z4 on this particular track. I don't like it for most handling tracks, but this one it just felt a lot better through sectors 2 and 3. Anyway, that's my season done. I don't think I'm fast enough in any case to significantly improve on my score. Yeah, it's this guy. He's getting dirty in an attempt. He's getting dirty in an attempt to score for 252 and leapfrog me. Great season from Gracudo though. But if Pooper Pooper is in your splits. If Puka Puka is in your splits, no, you didn't. Honestly, you didn't have to do that. I don't think 2 wrongs make a right. But if he's down in the split below the split I was in, I don't think 252 is on the table for him anyway. This guy's new, VR Sprinter. Oh, actually, not that new. I think I have seen Sprinter before. They could probably leapfrog themselves into 2nd if they get another good round, which means Gracudo might be cruelly denied a spot in top 2 BMW again. Look, I don't really care either. I don't really care either about this season. I've messed it up. I've messed it up completely on several fronts, and I wasn't qualifying anyway. That's why I wasn't that concerned that I only managed a 32-0 in quali. If I can get myself a good final round to potentially leapfrog Law, if a miracle happens, maybe Rulestone, that would be nice, but I'm not going to hold my breath for it. So yeah, I'll call it a night just as soon as I've copied over all of these screenshots to my USB so I can give it the old analysis. I mean, that got picked up by the auto mod, but I'm like, nah, that in context, that's okay. But anyway, have a good night.